Presentation, you will get to know all the SAP ERP financials. Basically is based on, guys, those are who are online, please mute at your end because we are listening your even typing. SAP ERP financials is based on 4 applications, the major 4 applications. First application is called financial accounting, which is basically consists of journal module of general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, then fixed asset, bank accounting. Then second application is called controlling, which is aka management accounting. The management accounting consists of cost center, profit center, profitability analysis, controlling, internal order, product costing. Second sector is called treasury and risk management, or FSCM application, financial supply chain management. Financial supply chain management have a 2 core segment area there. The very first segment is called core treasury. The core treasury basically consists of treasury and risk management, cash and liquidity management, in-house cash management. Then we have is called bank communication management, and in second segment of FSCM is called we call credit management, dispute management, biller direct, cash and collection management. So these are the basic modules. Then the fourth application is called public sector management. In public sector management, we have grants management, we have a funds management, we have a project system is there, we have a HR integration is there. So these are different sectors. So right now in SAP is very good in public sector, very good in commercial sector. In commercial sectors, all the manufacturing, all the pharmaceuticals, even banks, even financial industry, even insurance, they have SAP. Pretty much everywhere SAP is there. Then SAP have some industry specific solution is there. Like I worked in utility sectors. They have a utility sector. Some of the core modules are there which are attached to on the top of the core modules. They are like FICO. Basically, they control all the contract. Whenever the volume of customer is more, they go into, instead of accounts receivable and payable, they go into FICO. So I also worked in the utility sectors. I also worked in the insurance industry like AIG. I worked in AIG too. So AIG have the top core module is there. On top of that, some of their insurance related, they have some implemented some of the core modules which are directly integrated with the core financials module. So this way basically SAP evolved and come into all the financials level. So once whatever your quest is you have, first of all learn this module. When you are at the 70-80% we will cover, then I will guide you specifically which direction you will go. Right now you will learn whatever I will come on your way and learn from your, I need focus.
Sure.
Because you guys will having a, just like a college or kids or school, I will give you assignments, okay? So based on the assignments, I will expecting, because you are adult enough, that I am expecting that you will perform 100% of the time. If you have a time management, if you have a communication skill problem, do let me know what kind of issues you have, so we'll work together. I'm just acting as, this is your SAP first project. Even this is SAP orientation is there. I'm just letting you know from SAP perspective how SAP normally behave. Even if they have a 1 day or a half a day seminars, they charge around $1,500 for a half a day seminar. And they'll invite you, and the invitation will come 6 weeks earlier and all the spots reserved, and then they give you the orientation, they open the forum. They have some executive things and you can arrange in a big hotels and all the other things are there, and they give you my kind of experience or less than my kind of experience person will come and he will give you all the details. Okay. And once you go into the FI and CO course, they said, okay, welcome on board. So we have a $5,800 only FI course and $5,800 only CO course. And if you wanted to learn extra module, you have to pay and enroll in extra module. Whatever I will teach you in class, this worth is more than $15,000 plus value. Whatever TekTaurus as well as ITBMS is charging you is less than peanuts. Trust me. My only objective is to give you guys my experience to you, hand over my experience to you guys. So you can pass on my success stars and be enjoying your life. I will touch your lives. It's not only a SAP course. It will be a live course that how you guys will be successful, how you can develop your interpersonal communication skill set, how you will be a good person. Once you go into real-time corporate sectors, what are the things you will do over there? So how your success will be there. And I will also give you a live example once we'll go on the real-time day-to-day exploits. So this is my humble request, and those who are online, please, it's up to you because you are not in class, you are by your own. I'm just giving you direction and guideline. Every 90 to 100 minutes there should be a break. Okay, guys?
Sure. I have a question. My core focus is financial and consolidation, but since this is an integrated system, they're small. Maybe you can help us explain part of it. For example, project system, how it's connected with financial consolidation.
Don't worry.
How is SD is connected with.
I will give you all the details.
So if you don't have I don't want to go and learn the whole SD class just for a small area that I'm.
No, I'm not at an SD class. I'm on a pure focus on SD. Integration points will be covered. Consolidation points will be covered. I'm just guiding you. I'm asking you if you have any question, open up with me, but don't hide your questions because I don't have a magic. I will only let you know whatever the frequency of the class. I will guide you according to the frequency of the class and coach you according to the frequency of the class. But if you have a specific question, you ask me. Specific question, I know her question because she gave me her retrospective. I know her. So whatever your quest is there, so I will, based on your quest, as we'll move forward, I will let you know all the details.
Also, a little bit geared towards implementation.
That's basically whole course is all about. I told you that right now you are at the oceans, and you have no idea what's the depth of the ocean, what is the temperature of the ocean, where you can find a lot of fish, where you can find no fish, where you can find, you have no idea at this point of time. As we swim and dive, you will also learn a lot of other things. Okay, so just stay with me, stay tuned with me. If you have a question, I'm just treating you like a financial gossip, you can call it. So feel free yourself.
Is it true that it is not so popular with the financial sector?
No. Who told you?
I just.
AIG has all the financial industries. They have even banks have. The bank have other industry-specific solutions there. Even Bank of America have SAP. Yes. Chase has SAP. AIG has SAP. All the insurance industries have SAP. These are the financial industry, am I right? So whatever it means, whatever the information you are getting is not right.
Maybe.
I think the transformation that's happening is that lots of companies have older systems, and then they realize that they've outgrown them, and they want a true ERP, not a standalone without all of the modules. They're either going Oracle or SAP. Those are the two main ones, but I've seen SAP popping up more often.
Oracle is everywhere. Yeah. Oracle.
Just guys, pay attention, and whatever your question you have, I will address all of your questions.
I just request today I will give at
11:30 is very, because I cannot finish.
No, that's okay. I already talked to Madhu yesterday.
It's fine. You can take recording once it's there. Okay.
Can we also record your?
Yes, recording is already done. As soon as I step in the class, the recording session is on.
And then you can share with us after.
Yes, you can talk to your coordinator, and she can.
Very wonderful.
Okay, guys, this is SAP orientation. What's basically SAP introduction about SAP? This is my highlights of the day as we progress in the class. So brief overview of SAP architecture, brief overview of SAP landscape, SAP technical and functional areas, introduction about various modules in SAP, introduction about SAP ERP, brief about SAP FICO course, like SAP FICO advanced training courses based on whatever existing learning of you have based on SAP FICO or after SAP FICO. You can also learn SAP Treasury and Financial Risk Management, Core Treasury, SAP Receivables Management, basically FSCM, SAP Funds and Grants Management, Public Sector, SAP IS Utility, SAP Training Highlights, Recap, and Question and Answers. So this orientation will cover these points. And stay tuned, and whatever the inquisitive minds you have, stay tuned with your mind, and you will get, and by end of this orientation, hopefully, you will quench your thirst. Okay?
So with accounting and SAP this course, what are the jobs, what kind of jobs?
They have plenty of jobs at the market right now. Once your skill set is a strong skill set, then lots of jobs market is there. So I'm just asking you, focus and learn and tons of available opportunities there in the market. Prakash, I'm giving you humble advice. Whatever I'm just giving you, because this is my, you can say, hobby. I'm giving you the bestest of the best, which is available in the SAP industry. Because at this point of time, you have no idea it's a stone, it's a gem. But I'm just letting you know whatever the bestest of the best is available now, I'm giving to you. After might be 6 months, after a year, then you can acknowledge yourself. Whatever at that time, thanks God that I have trusted Mr. Majid, and now I can recognize him that whatever he taught us or has given us, it has values. But eventually you will get to know. You expose even whatever I'm telling to you, letting you guys know, eventually after 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 hours, you will get to know. So why should I hide with you guys? I'm very transparent and open person. Okay, guys?
And how about every day the class will be 7 to 8 hours? So is it?
The class schedule is from 9:30 to 5 o'clock.
So it's it will be not a lot. We will be able to.
Because at your end, you have to practice at your end. Even SAP is also teach like this way. Even if you go to SAP MATLAB.
I'm just saying in general,
because this is
new for us, right? So doing 8 hours.
Yes, you have a whole week to practice. You have a complete whole week to practice. Only Saturday and Sunday is class schedule is this. From 9:30 to 4:30. Normally my classes always go past time. So normally it's 4:30 to 5 p.m. is our regular time. And if you can also have a more question, so I can also extend my class even to 5:30.
Majid, just one thing. You let us know what we required on our laptops in order to run them.
No, you at this point of time you don't need anything.
Okay.
Once you have a server access, you will get to know all this. I will guide you. So as soon as your steps more, I will guide you that how now your 10 steps are ahead. Now what are the things you need to know.
Can you provide a briefing 50 and 52? Briefing 50.
That's later. As soon as we progress, I will let you know. Focus on whatever I told you. I will provide you everything, but with the pace of the class.
Sure.
Don't go here and there. With the focus of the class.
Sure.
If you do not have a focus, you will not be successful. Okay? Because I have seen many guys during this 16 years. Just pay focus, attend, and you will get to know. So what's basically SAP is, the name SAP is a German company, and they were former IBMer. And being a former IBMer, I know that when you joined IBM, so what kind of load work you have on your IBM. So they will keep you busy at least 12 hours a day. And salute to them that being a former IBMer, they developed their particular system in the Germany, 1972, and salute to them because all were at that time developer. And being a German company, name SAP is a German company, is acronym for System A, Avendagen, Produkte in der Devenden, that's basically German language, German words. So meaning systems, applications, and products in data processing. So it's a third generation set of highly integrated software modules and perform common business function based on multinational leading practices. Whichever part of the world you are, whatever your statutory requirements you have, this ERP financial will give you all the statutory report out of them. And that's the reason it's getting popular pretty much across the globe. Takes care of any enterprise, however diverse it may be in operation, spread over the world geographically. So we have seen during my all implementation experience, I have seen many complex countries, and this software provided us all the solutions. So what is basically SAP ERP Software Enterprise Resource Planning is software-driven business. So basically it's a software-driven business. And the best part, when it's a software-driven business, it has integration with all other modules, like sales and distributions, like material management, like production planning, like controlling area, like human capital management. It has all the integrations. So from planning to manufacturing to sales and marketing, ERP as a solution, business solution aims to help the management. Why is helping a management? Because management wanted to get their internal report through this system. And this system is a very good system because how this system evolved based on FICO. They first developed FI and they second developed CO. Once they developed FI and CO and they integrated with each other. So they develop the reporting very good in a certain way. That's why, and based on this one, they start developing others integrated modules out of them. So mostly used ERP software packages. SAP is going to second to third largest independent software right now based on statistics. I will also show you the statistics later on. So BAN, PeopleSoft and HRMS basically is there. PeopleSoft into Oracle's bought PeopleSoft 2005 and now it's part of Oracle applications. JD Edward is there, SAG, AgPack, MFG Pro, Lawson, Ramco Marshall, basically take care of PP, PM, production planning, then plant maintenance, material management, Microsoft Dynamics, etc., etc. These are the major players in the ERP industry. So these are the SAP developed by Weller, Ruther, Hope, Hector, Plattner, Takeda, Tekra. So these are the founded in 1975. 5 former IBMer, they are there, and they developed their SAP ER2 at that time, R2 environment there. From R2 they developed R3, the former name of the main enterprise resource planning software produced by SAP AG, and now SAP AG is called SAP SE. SAP basically is a European, is called, is again their German words from meaning to say it's a German, is a European company. SE, now it's called SE. So facts about SAP. ERP is basically SAP integrated software solution. It's called client-server relationship. What is the client-server relationship? When you wanted to log on to your email accounts, you have directly access to your servers. So you are acting as a client and your server is sitting somewhere in Yahoo, Google, or some other platform. So this is called client-server relationship and distributed open system. SAP is the world's most used standard business software for client-server computing. So whenever the client-server computing is there, so we have developed, I'm just giving you one example of this particular, that how in 2010 we have developed a $100 million project in IBM. And at that time, for that particular company, we said that, okay, we will give the company name is a one global company. So at that time, we had a meeting at 7 a.m. In Toronto at that time, that we were in Toronto at that time. So from all parts of the world, all the CEO within CEO office, all the executive was logged in from Australia to New Zealand to South Africa to America to South America to Europe to Middle East. Pretty much all we are connected at that time, and slowly and steadily we developed. First we launched the it's called Great Britain and European Continental first implemented, and after that we roll out this global footprint into other parts, then America, then South America, and after that the Asia Pacific region, and now in 4 years all the implementations were completed with $100 million project, and that company close to $8 billion company. And based on this one, so this information, so now the CEO, when he comes into the office, very first hour, he can see the Asia Pacific report, Australia, New Zealand report, what's basically happening on the same software. And then after tea, he can take a report from Eastern Asia Pacific, like China and Japan and all the markets, and later close to after lunch, he can pull the reports from Eastern Europe, and then after that, he can pull the reports from same ERP. I'm just giving the beauty of this particular ERP because I had directly interacted with that CEO, and he later at the end of the day, he can pull the report even from North American regions. So he can this is the beauty of this system. Previously, they said that we close the books in 10 days for monthly closing, and now we can close the books in 3 to 5 days. Monthly closing.
I just have a question. Like, for example, I know that it sounds like SAP has a true reporting system. I know that some companies use like Tableau TM1 to overlay, like Oracle. You're saying that SAP has its own full financial analysis report.
Yes. It has all the reporting out of SAP ERP Financial, and all the reports, I will let you know. All the reports are basically based on your core ERP Financial. The good part is.
Yeah. Well, what I've seen happen, especially using Oracle, is that you interface with Cognos. All information goes there, and out of that you generate it. But you're saying this is
complete end-to-end. SAP is complete, providing you end-to-end solution. You didn't need any other software at all. So number one vendor, it depends upon that specific industry. They have a budget, we have all the solutions. So that's the reason it's getting popular. So I'm just giving you one example based on whatever I have seen. I'm giving you the industry example, which I have worked and I have seen. I'm just giving.
What are the reporting tools besides business subjects?
No, they have others. This is top of that. We have HANA. HANA is there. We have a BPC is there. There are lots of other. All SAP solution is there from reporting perspective, and they have also standalone standard system is also there. So second to third largest independent software supplier in the world, available in almost 18 plus languages. So if you can see the financial reporting in different languages, you can also see. That's why out of top 10 US corporations use SAP. That's the reason basically they are getting popular. So facts about SAP, best on business run SAP. So that's their slogan. So SAP is the world leader for enterprise application analytics, mobile solutions with 282,000 plus customers in 190 plus countries are there. So market capital close to $100 billion, 80% of SAP customers are subject matter experts. SAP customers include 87% of the Forbes Global 2000 companies, 98% of the 100 most valued brands. This is 1 year back statistics. So 100% of the Dow Jones top scoring sustainability companies are there. SAP customers produce 78% of world food, 82% of the world's medical devices, 69% of the world's toys and games, 74% of the world's transaction revenue touches an SAP system, because SAP have bought lots of other brands from pretty much all across, and they have directly integrated with SAP. SAP touches US 16 trillion of retail purchases around the world. So based on these statistics, if you are in SAP and if you are core module and you are still thinking that you can go anywhere else, and the way future economy and the way future basically is going. So think tonight, and then once you decided, oh, this is my course, then please put your 100% efforts and you will be there. It's only a matter of time. So now we talk about what's basically the three-tiered SAP architecture is. So first layer is called database layer. The second layer is called application layer. You can see database layer. You can also add IBM DB2 is there. Oracle database is there. Now HANA database is also there. On top of that, application layer is there. All sorts of application based on SAP. You can take it on top of that. You can see presentation layer in the form of old GUI. This is old GUI graphical user interface, and this is the NetWeaver based on your web application servers. You can also see these presentation layers. This is basically talking about the SAP architecture, how basically SAP architecture looks before we jump into the SAP FICO, what basically SAP FICO is all about.
What is the difference between this old GUI and NetWeaver?
NetWeaver, this is a SAP application server, and this is basically web application server. So web application server takes all the data from back office and show you on graphical interface, just like you can see on any web page. So three-tiered SAP architecture plus ABAP. ABAP basically is Advanced Business Application Programming language. Basically, this program, the SAP is written in ABAP language. So database layers, ABAP program and data storage are there. Then second layer basically is application layer. This basically talks about all the application layers. ABAP execution is there. On top of the ABAP, you can see ABAP program output, presentation layer. So this way, basically from a technical perspective, how this program basically is all about, that basically is giving you the highlight of this particular, where is basically is based on. So before you basically reside in to a specific location, I just wanted to know you what's basically the whereabout of this technology and whereabout and how basically this technology is based upon. And three-tiered SAP architecture plus ABAP journal. So here you can see how from screen perspective, how the back and forth as the SAP programs basically work based on the application layer, how the program logic basically is work from back and forth to SAP tables to database layers to presentation layers. So I'm just giving you details So this is basically database layer. In database layers, we have a program repository. We are not concerned at all. This is automatically happen. We are only functional consultant. We will take care of only on the functionality of the SAP system. But at the back end, how basically this system, whole system basically communicate with each other. So this way it communicate with each other from database layer to application layer, from application layer to presentation layers. So based on these three layer technology, how basically this total working basically has happened this way basically it talks. So you are not involved in any kind of a programming at all. So what is ABAP? Originally, this is Advanced Business Application Programming, and Advanced Business Application Programming created by SAP initially to for report creation purposes, and later into a complete language, and this basically opens SQL language and extended in 1998 to include object support, ABAP objects, and developing the user object-oriented model recommended, but later on it developed a complete program. That's basically the history of how ABAP programming basically is developed. And what is the NetWeaver? NetWeaver basically is give you from integration perspective. SAP NetWeaver, it gives you the people integrations, information integrations, process integration, as well as application platform. That application platform is developed, is based on DB as well as OS abstractions, give you all the information. From process integration perspective, it has integration broker, it has business process program management and master data management, business intelligence from information integration perspective, and from people integration perspective, from multi-channel access, portal, collaboration, and everything basically provides you. So it's a very powerful SAP NetWeaver is there. So technical foundation for SAP application is ERP, which basically we are learning ERP, and then we have on top of that we have a CRM, customer relationship management, then SCM, supplier relationship management, and that's basically provide you internal connectivity with each other, and that's why, and the main system basically is the ERP system.
So do we need to do NetWeaver programming, or is
no. It's just giving you the retrospective of how what's basically this program is all about and based on what. We are only concerned about FI and CO, the core functionality, how to learn the core functionality.
Is this related to FI, CO, NetWeaver?
No, basically this program is based on, this platform is totally based on this one. So you should know once you go to the real-time project, SAP charge you extra in order to provide this information. When you go to SAP America or SAP Germany, if you want to learn only SAP FICO, they start from FI and CO. They will not give you the whole retrospective of this information. Got it? But here, because I wanted once you go to the real-time projects, you should know that how everything basically is collaborating in from SAP perspective.
I think this is what the end-to-end. You're giving us the background
yes.
to see how information
yes.
flows, what is done there. Oh, that's excellent.
And this basically technology platform is built on, now you can see the core of heart. The heart you can see is my SAP ERP, or now it's called SAP ERP. So SAP NetWeaver, now you can see SAP NetWeaver technology in the middle. Total, this is based on SAP NetWeaver technology. So this is all, this box is all SAP NetWeaver. So here you can see the middle SAP ERP is there, on top of supply chain management is there. On bottom, product lifecycle management is there. Right hand side, you can see customer relationship management is there. On supplier relationship management. And when you are working in a big organization where everything basically is on SAP, so you can see many different applications are working, and this is a core. You guys are learning core because everything is flowing, all the data is flowing from here to here to here. They are coming into ERP financials. From ERP financial, all the data basically they are giving to the statutory reporting purposes.
Can you elaborate a little bit about the PLM?
Product lifecycle management is based on that how the whole product from management perspective, the whole lifecycle from project accounting perspective, from how the whole perspective basically is accountable. When you are going to the real-time project, we have offices are there from, so this is a total different life cycle. So they will give you the information that how from project accounting perspective, from project management perspective, the whole the information that comes under PLM.
So the FICO is I think in the middle.
FICO basically, which is
your focus is in the middle.
So this is integration points. Supply chain management is integration points. Supply relationship management is integrated. Project lifecycle management is integration from project accounting to project management to portfolio management. and this is not treasury, the other one. The CRM, so everything basically is integration, and ERP basically is all the integrated data comes over here.
I think maybe what Ashif?
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess one of the questions there, I don't know, but I'm guessing here, is that let's say we have a technology project, right, that's going through, maybe it's creation of a budget, having it approved, putting it there, managing.
No, we have in PLM, we normally do, we have extensive project, and we have, no, you ask me question, I'll give you more details. When I was at Shell, so they wanted to see everything capital projects on their SAP system, and we have investment management is their investment management directly integrated with their project work breakdown structure and all the details. That basically is happening everything in PLM. So based on the project availability of the budget, consumption of the budget, and then all the other details, and we develop portfolio, and based on the portfolio, when you have extensive project, and based on the capital project, and based on the operational project, that's where this basically is there.
Is the management job only the PLM is being handled by the management?
No, this is separate modules in SAP.
Okay. But not management job, right?
It's a kind of management, but you should know all the skills and
But I
everything.
would think that
That will come for you. PLM.
the transaction level would be done either in SRM or CM. Wherever the accounts payable is, and then feeding project management.
No, your job basically is there. Once you have this core skill set, I'm just giving you example. This core skill set have a more authority, more prestige than these guys. They are earning less as compared to these guys.
But those guys are feeding.
Yes.
PLM earning less than
Yes.
ERP?
Right.
Yes.
So, no, but let's be very clear on one thing. These are the modules where the transactions are entered.
Yes.
And it feeds the middle.
Yeah. My SAP ERP is ECC, right?
ECC, ERP. No, they said only ERP. With the passage of time, they develop in different. So this is a landscape of SAP ERP. So this landscape, you can see SAP system architecture. So we have a development system, we have a QA system, and we have a production system. So in ITS servers, you can see we have these are the basically development servers are there. So whenever we wanted to develop anything, so first of all, we develop in a sandbox. Once I want to develop, let's say unit dev 100, dev 120. So we develop all the configuration over here. From this configuration, this go into unit testing. From unit testing, it go into quality environment, and from quality environment, it go to different application servers. And then this whole system basically is there. This is called IT servers. This is called dev server, QA server, and production servers. So these are SAP servers. Basically, how this is called landscape architects. Based on these landscape, we basically develop. And in my job, right, basically we have detached Japanese and non-Japanese company into two landscapes. So first landscape, Japanese on it, and now I have developed, and now actually we are already in operations. So for non-Japanese company, we developed a center in New York City, and from New York City we are controlling the entire globe. And in Japan, they are only controlling their Japanese, because in their Japan, they have this company is a very big company. It's a giant company in Japan for all of the e-commerce sites. So this way I have developed their whole landscape from the.
You help to facilitate different groups, right?
Yes, conflict perspective. So these are landscape perspectives. We have a development system is there, type of user, developer, consultant, key users are there, types of work, customization, development, unit testing, and quality assurance system, type of user, developer, consultant, key user, type of work, integration, and quality testing is there. And from production system perspective, type of user, end user, type of work, productive execution of transaction with the real business area, and development, corrections, and customizing setting. You can see dev, QAS, and prod. These servers are there. This is where the whole entire system basically is work. So I'm just giving you, before you go into the real-time projects, I just wanted to give you whole end-to-end what's basically, where basically you guys are working. So this is operating system. This is a very simple illustration. This is a operating system. On top of operating system, we have a basis administration system. On top of basis administration system, we have a ABAP 4, Advanced Business Application Language 4th generation. When I say 4th generation, that language, it has its own database. That's why it's called 4th generation language. That's a difference between 3rd generation and 4th generation language. So here on top of that, Fourth generation language, it has its own database, and third generation language, it don't have its own database. So that's basically different. SAP system, here on top of SAP BAP 4, we have a MM is called Material Management. On top of that, we have a CO is called Controlling Area. SD, these are just an example. All application modules on top of that basically is there. So that's basically SAP system is simple. So Basis is a middleware. Basis is like an operating system for SAP. It sits between a BAP 4 code and the computer's operating system. SAP likes to call it middleware because it sits in the middle. Basis provides runtime environment for a BAP 4 programs, and a BAP 4 programs do not access operating system functions directly. Instead, they use Basis functions to perform input and output operations.
This is not a programming language, right?
No, this is not programming. We are not learning any programming. We are not coding any codes. We are functional consultant.
No, in the real time, a Basis consultant, is that a programming job?
No, it's not a programming job. They have
a
system administration jobs. They have different basically jobs.
Like security and
I'm just letting you know from money wise, from prestige wise, from functionality perspective, SAP ERP Financial has lots of money. You guys have no idea at this point of time. The more you learn, the more you earn. Simple as that. Very simple quotation. The more you learn, the more you earn. Am I right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So how much about BAP do we really have to know? I know we're financial consultants and we're mostly going to deal with how to customize.
You only need to know a BAP. It's a very good question. That what are the major tables are there? Where my data is sitting. I'm just giving you example that once we need a customization, let's say for interface, SAP asked us to do 90+% standard configuration and rest of the because you need an interface. So when we need an interface, I'm just giving an example. When you wanted to alter your suit to custom gown, you first of all search where is my tailor is sitting. Okay, once you find the tailor is just like your developer. I'm just giving an example. So later on you get to know. Then you give, hey, this is my measurement, but my pants, my shirt, based on my pants and shirt. Similarly, we give functional specification document. Hey, this is my functional specification document for my business. Based on my business need, I need this alteration. So this functionality should be reflected in my interface. Similarly, the tailor will do your measure based on your measurement. He or she will alter according to your custom needs. Similarly, the developer, based on your organizational need, based on your functional specification document, he or she will alter the code and give you a technical specification, and after that the code is implemented. Similarly, once you enter, after that you wear, hey, the suit is okay? Yes, my suit is okay. Similarly, based on the developer, once he implemented the code, then we test in QA environment, and after that we send it to the production. Similarly, so that kind of a knowledge you need to know. Am I right? Am I answer your question?
Yes. So basically, the only things that we will have to know is where the information is sitting, so that we can tell the developers that, hey, pick this information from this cube, and then I want it to do this or whatever it is.
Yes. And as we move forward into the course, I will let you know what are the major tables if you are interested, and based on your requirements, I will guide you accordingly.
Majid, I think most of the time you would find that the end users are the ones who are providing the functional requirements, because they're saying, I need this customization, this is what I need. So they literally would come and say, I want this, this, and this. And then out of that, the technicals, right?
Yes.
Because the developers will use that in order to do the coding and everything.
So in SAP, we have, let's say I'm taking from a nice perspective, we have a header, line items are there. We have a header and line items are there. Header information sits in some other tables, BSEC tables, BKPF tables. So we have a different tables names are there. So from these tables, we give the information. Based on these table, I wanted to see my cleared item. Then we give them the clear items information. You take this information, I wanted to reflect this report in so-and-so custom table. So sometimes we request the custom table, because now again the conversation is popped out that how basically sometimes we ask them, hey, we need a custom table, Z table, in order to provide this information. So this information will reflect in so-and-so report or so-and-so interface. So this kind of up to this kind of a knowledge is only required. And I will let you know what are the major tables names so you guys can easily move around.
So if I understand you correctly, then what we're basically doing is almost like a traffic person saying that the information needs to be tweaked
Yes.
to the situation and show them how to do it, and that's almost any price.
Developer actually already knew all the tables, but just like a tailor, tailor don't know the specific measurements. So it's our responsibility to provide the developer based on my industry specific needs to that person. That's basically our job.
But the specific needs is, as she said, of the end user, right?
Not end
Or
user.
it's just like in between the technical and the
Yes.
If you are doing any customization, then only it is required, right?
Yes.
But if you are using just vanilla versions, then you don't need to.
No. So that's why this ERP application functionality exists distinctively in two areas.
And how I will get the record?
Contact whosoever is your contact point of contact.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have no. Yes. And ask them when is the classes, so they will let you know the class schedule.
Yes.
So ERP applications functionality exists distinctively in two areas. So SAP functional and SAP technical. So we are not concerned about technical part. We are only concerned about functional part. So first of all, if you are thinking that I have to write all the codes, you are not the code persons. When I was in my DePaul school in Chicago, at that time when I have taken my C++ course, I know how I passed my C++ course. Trust me.
We would have been better off more in the technical part, that if we wanted to be truly marketable.
No, you didn't need it. Trust me, you didn't need it. I never needed it.
Already built.
No.
Pretty much they're just modifying what exists.
No, I will guide you. You didn't need it at all, codes.
No, I'm saying professionally.
Professionally, I'm
If
talking.
I had to go back and choose, I would go.
I worked in Fiori for 3 years.
No, I will love to you. What kind of experience you have, I will love to go into the functional area.
Oh, I love functional.
Because
I mean, I've
people don't know about the business functionality.
Yeah.
All the people, they go into technical area because they didn't like to face the people. Because we have interact a lot with when there's a brand new implementation. So all the time we interact with business users.
Right.
And business users are not small users. You know, when we normally implement, the business users are director level. They are minimum at director level. So when you are talking to them, hey, I want you to implement and design your general ledger area across the globe, and you are thinking that person is a small person who know across the globe. That person is a sometime vice president or sometime VPs or senior vice president. So these kind of a person we interact. When we are interacting these kind of a persons, so you should have a very strong functional knowledge. Plus,
I've actually operated in that area.
Yes.
Because I've been involved in system rollout, it is the functional
yes,
part
it's just a function.
that specifies exactly what you want.
And technical people, sometimes they don't know. They are sitting somewhere. We are providing them the guideline and coaching, and after guideline and coaching, they are developing into different areas.
And most of the times when you're going through QA, it's the technical end users that actually do test what this program is.
Yes. So that's why we are only concerned about functional perspective.
I agree. And another thing is technical job can be outsourced.
Yes.
Functional
Functional
can
can
be
be
outsourced.
So I've never been outsourced. Trust me. In depression and recession type, I have more jobs in depression and recession and double dip and recession than normal days. Yeah. Even nowadays, I stop even by looking at my job every day because I am already in their database and I already work for lots of companies. Every day I am receiving them. Though I'm already spam it, still I want to do, they directly called me, they left a voicemail. Sometimes they contacted me through LinkedIn. I said, I'm already on the project, I cannot. You know any person. Once you know the skill set, people know you, they will always come at you. So meaning to say, we are not technical, but we know the technical part. We are not technical people, but we know our point of interaction. So we're basically our point of
But
interaction.
an excellent functional person becomes an excellent programmer.
Not programmers. I be never a programmer at all in my life.
Now, what I'm saying though, when, and I don't want to interrupt our flow here, but most of what I've done has been consulted in end-to-end process analysis, truly assessing risk and ensuring there's controls, still controls to put in, right? So when you're building a system, you think like that, right?
Yes, definitely.
That's my way of, that's the way, coming from an audit, starting out as audit, when you go into that finance role, you're literally assessing everything.
Yes.
Because when you're audited, you're not going to be caught.
When you are audited,
yes.
once you know the SAP functionality, then you love it. You love the most.
Good. I'm looking forward to
So what if your technical knowledge is zero?
I will provide you whatever the technical knowledge is required. I will provide you over here. Don't worry. From scratch, from nowhere to somewhere. Complete package is given to you guys.
Like even all this that you're saying is a little bit, okay.
Everything step by step, because right now we have a bigger audience.
Right.
For bigger audience, this orientation is meant.
Okay.
So I come from technical background, and I have been to your roles many times. Looking back, I think being in the functional side, I agree with you, is the best place to start with.
Oh, I love the functional role.
Technology, you get obsolete pretty quickly.
Yes.
The demand is you have always keep up with the technology, which as you grow older,
Right.
you'll find very challenging. Functional, already, you're just adding a little bit things extra.
I believe you go functional to programmer, not programmer to functional.
I'm just giving an example. I've never been a programmer. I always been a functional consultant, and now my new assignment is coming up. The already global billing solution is coming up. I'm also giving a new SAP. It's called SAP Hybrids for billing as well as for e-commerce suite. So I'm just giving them the new technology which SAP bought a couple of years back. Now I'm looking into that technology, how we integrate directly from SAP Commerce into that. So what? That's a separate. Don't only focus on this one.
You told hybrids to the start.
And so, meaning to say, when you are a functional consultant, you always know you are at the top. When you are at the top, you know what's happening, and the developer at the bottom.
When I joined McGraw-Hill, one of the things that audit did was oversee large technology projects. And there was an integration they were having. McGraw-Hill used Lawson at the time. And there was this major estimation system that they had, and they wanted to do a full integration into AP. And because of my background, for me, I have to understand end-to-end. I don't want to know just about this project. I have to know each system. And I need to know what am I getting from them. And one of the key things I found out, and they've never paid attention to it, is that when you create procure to pay, and when you create those requisitions, you go to procure and everything, there are thresholds that need to be filled. The invoice comes in.
Guys, mute at your end, please.
It should trigger a reapproval if it's a certain percentage of what was done. But they had totally overlooked it, because all they were concerned with was billing and integration. And one of the things they were looking at was interdependency. I went in and I flagged it. And it actually shut the project down. Because it was big enough. It was an estimation system that you were working on. You estimate it, you do a requisition, send out the PO, all of that whole approval process. So trust me, when I know, for me, that's the functional knowledge that I acquired over auditing several different businesses, industries. And that's why I'm saying that I think a strong functional person becomes a better programmer than the other way around.
We agree to disagree.
Anyhow, it's a good discussion. We always respect all the opinions, especially in the business area and the business avenues.
Yeah.
And we respect each other's opinions, and whatever the best after conclusions, we always, the company opt for that conclusions, and then we move on. So basically our learning is functional. It's functional element. Though I'm just giving you information that once you go into real-time project, you should not be isolated. What's technical? I have no idea. So technical is basically administrator and programmers are there. So you should have a very solid knowledge before you land onto your first project. That's why this information has been given to you. Administrator are basis, programmer are basically a BAP for programmers. Simple as that. And from SAP navigation perspective, this basically icon you can see is called SAP Logon. So this SAP navigation system, this basically is, this screen is meant for users. So here you can set that this is SAP menu bar, and this is SAP toolbar, this is SAP title bar, this is SAP function bar, this is SAP standard menu tree is there, this SAP status bar is there, this is SAP session numbers are there, this is SAP client numbers are there, and this to open and close status bar link, how basically if you click this one, it will come over. This one, if you uncheck again, it will open up like this way. So this, all the information, this is the very first page of how SAP screen basically looked like. So before we go into any project, SAP also have this lifecycle development methodology is there. So SAP called it, this is not ASAP, this is ASAP methodology. So why it's called ASAP? It's called accelerated SAP methodology. Normally people call ASAP. ASAP is different words. And don't call SAP SAP. When we cut the trunk of the tree, the fluid comes out from the tree, that is called SAP. So this is SAP. And don't call it ASAP, this is accelerated SAP methodology. And start from project preparation. So how the project basically has been prepared, let's say an organization's XYZ organization, let's say is a $1 billion organization, and they have decided that they wanted to go into ERP, SAP ERP implementations. The project, before project, they have already decided the project has been prepared, they bid for the project, and then bid for 4 or 5 companies, they bid for the project. One company, let's say, they won the project, and after that they plan the project. Hey, this is our $20 million project, and this implementation will last for 2 years. The project has been prepared. In very first stage is called the first phase of the project. Project has been prepared, resources has been allocated, and then once it is there, then business blueprint. Hey, these are the resources from business side, and these are the resources from the implementer side, our implementation team side. Then they decide that who will be project manager, who will be PMO office, who will be taking care of ERP financials, lead managers, all the top solution architect level person should be there, and then they interact with directly to the persons over there. Let's say directors, accounts payable director is there, general ledger director is there, account receivable director is there, treasury directors are there. Then they are directly working in relation with the consultant or solution architect persons, and they let them know the SAP awareness. Hey, this SAP, how SAP is look like. We give them the SAP education. And based on the SAP education, how SAP basically work, how the reports basically works, then we take the information and then we present this information in the form, and then all the audience, their general audience is also there, apart from their higher executive to lower executive to their all the audience, the working peoples are also there. This way we grab the information, we document the information, and then the business blueprint document has been prepared. And based on the business, company business, once the business blueprint document has been prepared, then we put all the information into the system. It's called configuration. We put all the configuration, the realization phase. When the configuration is ready, then final preparation is there. In final preparation is there when we involve the team, QA team is out there, testing team are there, some other team are there. Then based on the threshold level of, we developed some of the transactions. We involved the super users from the business, and they test the system. And if there's defects are there, defects has been removed and eliminated. Based on, we already use another system for testing purposes. There are different system tools are available. And once the testing is done and defects has been removed, then the system basically will go for go live, and then the go and no go live date has been decided. And based on this one, SAP also provide another solution within SAP built-in is called Solution Manager is there. So based on the Solution Manager and all the documents, and we take from project management perspective to document management perspective to system integration perspective. So this Solution Manager takes care of all the details, and that this way the solution has been delivered, and then the date has been decided from non-SAP system to SAP system. This path basically takes from 1 year to 2 years based on the cycle and based on the approach of the project. This way the whole ASAP methodology basically works. And you guys normally, once you go, you guys are called mid-level consultant. Mid-level consultant comes in the third phase, which is the realization phase. So I have worked from project preparation to business blueprint to realization phase. So I have worked in so many projects from phase 1 to phase end. All pretty much all worked in global implementation, local implementation, public sector implementations. financial sector implementation, utility sector information, insurance sector information. Pretty much I have worked across all the industries.
So this is the job of project manager? Like
no, it depends upon what kind of a role you have.
What is the difference between responsibility of project manager and solution architect?
Solution architect takes care of whole end-to-end solution. So he is what style of all the modules.
And project manager?
Project manager, he only takes care of project. That's it. The solution architect is double pay than your project management.
Yeah, that's the guy that's
Yes.
doing the foundation on that.
Solution architect basically is architect. He knows the complete end-to-end design from SAP perspective, from non-SAP perspective, from all the niche area which people don't know, but he knows from people process perspective, from technology process perspective, from internet process, from all process perspective. You name it and he already knew everything. I asked you, the more you ask, the more you learn from me. So functional, so we have a finance. This is the ERP core. What ERP basically consists of? Finance, HR and logistics. So, but mostly 60 to 70% of the company, they use ERP based on the finance.
Okay.
Yes.
But logistics means there are two, the MM and SD, right?
MM, mostly they use MM and SD.
MM and SD. And finance, GL, ERP and fixed assets.
They are the use other modules too. You will get to know other modules.
I'm a little curious about the role of the HR.
HR basically based on the country specific. Based on the country specific law, SAP have modules basically built on the HR modules. You will also get to know all the information of finance, HR and logistics.
So global implementations, generally the HR will take bigger role, right?
Yes, I will let you know. Based on before we go, why should not we take a break?
Yes, sure.
Because it's,
I needed that.
so I will guide you that here you will get to know from nowhere to somewhere, from scratch.
You've always done that for me.
Guys, those who are online, please take 5 to 10 minutes break, and after that we will back on exact after 10 minutes.
12 o'clock.
We will back 12 noon. Guys who are online, we will back at 12 noon. We have a 10 minutes break.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I wanted to stay home with my son. No regret. But when you said that, that totally resonated. Yours is just a short break, and you're having trouble. And it's a greater. Yeah, the same with mine was where I was more focused on my job, and I started in public accounting.
So Indira, you are working in McGraw-Hill, right?
I actually left McGraw-Hill
How many
in
years?
2013.
How many years you worked in McGraw-Hill?
8, 9 years.
9 years. They are using Oracle Financial. They are not
Yes.
using. They are not using SAP.
They just rolled out Oracle. When I was
They
there,
rolled out Oracle. They are not.
they're live on Oracle. But what they were doing is that when I joined, I would say the core finance system was Lawson. But the education, McGraw-Hill had 3 segments at that time when I joined. They had McGraw-Hill Education, they had S&T, and they had Information and Media. They're now McGraw-Hill Financial, which is the S&T, the JD Tower.
They are using SAP now.
Yeah, no. They're using Oracle. But what I'm saying,
They are still using Oracle SAP.
yes, but they only rolled out. When I joined, they were using Lawson, and only the education sector was using parts of Oracle, the procure to pay, the supply,
Only for
right? But then what they did in 2010, 2011, I think, that's when they decided, no, we're going to move from Lawson to Oracle for the entire McGraw-Hill.
Yeah, that's right. They implemented Oracle applications everywhere. Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know why they didn't implement SAP.
No, they did not. When I was there, I thought Oracle was a step higher than SAP, but in the last year, after I took a break and I really started looking, like I said, it's like almost every opening out there when they talk about
Oracle
the ERP.
applications is not an integrated product.
Exactly. So
It is,
what?
it is like piece by piece.
Yes.
It is bought from several companies,
Right.
acquired piece and piece. That's how the integration is really not possible in Oracle case.
That's right. So,
And if you are working Oracle applications, you have to be techno-functional. You have no other way. It cannot be a functional, it cannot be technical. You have to be must techno-functional.
Yeah.
That's why I was a techno-functional consultant in Oracle.
so but they're now fully on Oracle.
But yeah.
Yeah.
They're still on Oracle.
What's your name? I didn't get
Prakash Diwan.
Prakash.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which company mostly you work
But I,
A lot of companies
I have been Big Five. I'm also,
in functional side or technical?
I'm everywhere. I've been
I'm taking into account as well.
So I know I did learn accounting as part of my
Basically, you are a technical developer, right?
technical functional. I used to be I started as a developer.
Just like me.
Yeah.
You see, one of the things, what I meant is when I was talking, throughout my career, I've always worked with IT. For me, the auditor I was and I still am, I don't believe in auditing a process without looking. I'm an integrated auditor. If there's technology involved, I'm going through that technology. I need to know. Because at the end of the audit, you're required to give improvements, things that would really work. And if you have technology in that process, you need to see how to maximize the use of it, you know? So, but when I started working in that role, one of the things I found is that developers would just do what they're told to do.
Absolutely.
It's based on the functional requirements into the technical specifications, right? And I found that if the functionals were not defined clearly, come on, if you're going to have issues in viewing, right? So that's why I'm saying what I have found is that in lots of the IT projects I've worked on, that functional knowledge was key in getting it over clearly, and it always ensured that towards the end. But what
Sure. I see your point. I'm not
what I was saying is that when you're talking about marketability in today's age, look at an IT programmer out there. They've got a job ready, waiting always.
That's not true. I'm right here. I've been 25 years in enterprise systems, so I'm just focusing on finance, accounting, human resource, supply chain.
Okay.
I've done everything.
Okay.
And as an IT person, I find it really hard. I wish I had started as a functional.
Exactly. Even I'm repenting. I could have done a functional person.
So my brother is a CPA.
Functional too.
Functional is better than
My brother is a CPA, just like you guys. Never got into IT, and he is lucky because he has a whole range of projects he works on, and he's a very high price consultant. I cannot even match what he is, and I work really harder than him. So I see all the coins, both sides. And your experience is different because you came from audit, and then you started to functional, then you are trying to focus on IT.
Yeah, I went from audit to, I was actually, before I became the controller, I was actually the director of finance. And it's a different role from a controller. You truly work with the business, you know, and that opened up my eyes because in audit, I did integrated audits. I was already familiar with all the systems that were there. And it put me in a better position when I went to the director of finance. I knew how the system worked, how it interfaces. So I was able to play a better role in terms of I was the functional user. I was the functional person out. So I was able to say, hey guys, no, this is the way we want it done, and modifications were done.
Well, I am today, it's a different angle. I'm the director of finance systems.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And I have done SAP, I've done Oracle, I've done Lawson, I've done SIM, I've done, all the best of breeds you can think of.
That's fantastic.
No, it's very hard. At this stage, I'm really struggling right now because even though I've done all these systems, each requires very unique set of capabilities. And nowadays, if you're looking for a job, they're not going to come and see, hey, what you've done in the past. they're going to say, do you know this process? And I need to know you can deliver
Specifically this process.
Yeah, but you know what I found, and maybe I've got 16 years of audit, and one of the things I learned from that made me a better auditor when I went from public accounting to internal audit, I've seen so many processes, and because I audit end-to-end, in fact, I implemented end-to-end audit in the 2 companies I worked as an internal audit manager. And I told them the importance of an end-to-end analysis. That's how you find gaps, you know. But what I found is that experience with touching different systems and touching different processes, it made me a better consultant, and eventually when I settled down in a company in that role, I'm very quick to identify flaws in the system because, and I've been told many times, well, they can't do that. And the next question is, why not? It is the most efficient and effective way to do something. I believe that's the way a system should work. If you're putting in an IT,
I'm just giving you, I have listened to your conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I started 16 years back as a functional, still functional, but the way better, more aggressive, more lucrative, more prestigious role than somebody can imagine. And also learn and embrace a lot of new technologies which comes on, which SAP basically provides, being SAP, because I'm core SAP guy. I never look into other technologies.
You started right. I mean, you chose
I'm just giving you based on your conversation. SAP has evolved his system like this way, that it's meant for audit, it meant for statutory reporting purposes, it meant for IFRS rules, it meant for all accounting principles. So that's the beauty of SAP system.
But Magic, I remember when I touched SAP, and like I said, this is way back, either late 90s, early 2000s. I remember that the way, when I was in the GL, I can see transactional level information in accounts receivable. Now, I believe an accounts receivable module exists to keep transactional details. And at the end of the day or at the end of the month, you do a posting of total AR, various credits to the revenues, various receipts that were received. And even though it's easier on an end user rather than going into a whole bunch of modules, when you as an auditor is looking through, you're looking through the general ledger and you're looking at AR, you're seeing a bunch of detailed transactions.
No, SAP provided you very specific reports out there. If you wanted from audit
perspective. When you go
perspective.
into the GL, when you look into AR, are you seeing customer Joe, every single transaction? You see, and that's the thing. To me, the whole idea of a subsidiary ledger, from an accounting standpoint, what is a subledger? A subledger is detailed transactions. What is a general ledger? A general ledger is more summarized information.
That's we call reconciliation account. Reconciliation accounts, we have a summarized detailed information, summarized information. If you wanted to go into the subledger has all the details.
Okay, so then maybe what I remember seeing, that's not the way it exists today. Then.
So whatever the information you can ask, give me the information. Normally when I talk to executive, I say, what kind of requirements you have?
Right.
They provide me this, this information is available. Talk me some more intricate information, or we don't have. Then I can let them, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Then I let them know these are the different facets of SAP. Then, oh wow. So we provide them the information. As you get into the subject details, then you will use.
How many class days do we have?
We have 8 days class.
8 days, okay. And from at what point do we see? And I have to be understanding of the rest of the fact because again, how far I've moved up in my field and the diversity of it.
Within a year, I will personally everyone, that's my normal pattern. Normally I personally, every individual I guide that based on your strength, because end of the day, you have all of your strength, what kind of a personality you have is exposed to me, because this is my God-gifted talent. So even you don't let me know all of your details, I will eventually get to know all of your details.
Oh, right. No, but
I always guide your strength. Hey, that's the reason if you see my later you will see my email that SAP coach is there. Coach know his player or her player's strengths, because sometimes the player didn't know his or her strength. Being a coach, I know your strength. Sometimes I will be very polite to you guys. Sometimes I will be sometimes rough with you guys. Normally it's happened. You will see. Sometimes I am talking very polite to one person and very harsh to other person, because I know that how you trigger, how you get along with on your course of direction.
Right. No, but what I meant is that is in 8 sessions, I want to know when we're getting to the truth hands-on.
From very first day.
Thank you.
Guys who are online there, you guys are there? Let me know you guys are there. It's already 12 noon.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I'm here.
I'm here too.
Okay, Holly, you also here? Hopefully.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. Sometime, don't worry about that. It's all education.
Even I'm here.
Who is there?
Vignesh.
Okay. Guys, actually, we are talking about where we left before, so everybody has break. At least necessity of the break is to go and refresh yourself. That we have already done.
Yep.
This is basically core ERP. What's basically core ERP is basically, guys who are online, please mute at your end. So, core ERP side basically depends upon 3 major areas: finance, HR, logistics. HR is also called by SAP HCM, Human Capital Management. Yes. And we go into a little details. What are these modules? What are these animals are? So I just wanted to know about little bit details of this one. So first we go into human resource. HR module includes support on salary and payroll administration, as well as areas such as work schedule modules. This core functionality basically is a very country specific. I'm just giving you one example. When 2009, when I was in Europe and we are doing some implementation at that time, we are just chatting with each other within our department, and we got to know from HR. So hey, you know, guys are from US, that in Switzerland, based on our company, we have a law that though it's a maternity related, I'm just giving you one example. They said that based on Switzerland law, that if a lady gets pregnant, so he will be on leave for 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. Listen, guys. It's not yet completed. So he said that that's their law, and after that, after every 3 years, she got pregnant. From last 10 years, she's on payroll, whatever.
Don't need to work. Don't need to work. Keep getting.
Oh my God.
So, and then the government then explained that this particular based on your laws, so we have a specific employees and blah blah blah, and she's contracted. And then they said that Swiss government is also thinking that we have to shoot some break, and so these are the specific laws. And
Not so ridiculous. It's
No.
I'm just guys, cut short. I'm just cut short. I just wanted to give you a some live class, meaning to say HR, human resources, HR related, is based on the country specific laws. Whatever the country specific laws, we have to follow. Similarly, we have to follow the statutory laws of each and every country in order to provide. That's why it's based on employment laws and rules. In France, they have a maximum statutory holidays within work days they have. And once you go to Europe and you will see, especially in UK, there's a tradition. After work, they straight go to bars. They sit over there, they drink 2, 3, not small, a big glass, a big jug like, a pitcher like glass. They normally 2 to 3. Initially, when I said, man, in 2, 3 they sit, and after that they normally used to go. That's their tradition. If you go to Germany people are very good people. They focus on their work. Their hours are long. They like to work long, and they deliver the solution. And if you wanted to go Japanese people, they love to work. They said that we give the bestest of the best. We give the perfection. So if you work in different areas, then you will get to know what are the laws and human resources HR module. This module basically will provide you all the detailed information based on the laws. And through SAP, basically, I had a chance to visit across the globe.
Right.
So normally you used to stay 200 euro, 250 euros per night stay, hotel and everything. So it all comes from SAP. So when you are in SAP, here these are the modules in HR modules, HR applications. So personnel management, payroll, time management, travel management, training and event management.
So travel management, T&E is handled through HR.
No, we have specifically now it comes under finance.
Okay.
So this that had direct integration with the HR module. Logistics, you can see sales and distribution, production planning, material management, warehouse management, quality management, environment, health and safety, and a BAP4 ERP language, SAP architecture. And
plant maintenance. Plant maintenance.
Plant is also logistics.
Logistics, right? Yes.
So a BAP4 SAP R3 architecture, a BAP4 development workbench, data dictionary, internal table, transaction, data transfer, report, SAP script. These are the inside of basically a BAP language. And the interface technologies are there. Finance, basically finance is meant for internal as well as external reporting purposes. So that's why finance has more importance than other modules. So financial application sets basically mostly use application sets. And luckily I have worked pretty much across all 5 modules, all 5 areas. So I worked in all financial accounting. I have worked all management accounting, which is aka CEO module. I have a chance to work all financial supply chain management. These financial supply chain management consist of your core treasury and receivables management, to bank communication management, to treasury and risk management. All corporations investment and borrowing basically is dealt through this treasury and risk management, as well as bank communication management. When you are dealing with your foreign accounts, that's basically, I will let you know all the detail further as soon as. And public sector management is also there. That talks about your grants management, funds management. When you have a government grants are there and how government grants basically funded and managed, and budget has been created and budget has been allocated based on their projects, and projects are extensive project, operational project, and capex projects are there.
That was smart. That's making it available to the government.
That's, I also worked in public sector too, so I know all the details. The corporate governance is also there based on the audit rules and regulations, Sarbanes-Oxley rules. All the information basically is there, how based on the segregation of duties basically perform. I told you that SAP is ERP financial, basically is meant based on audit, based on IFRS laws, based on accounting principle, based on statutory laws. They design like this way. So that's why it's getting popular.
What is the public sector management?
Public funds and grants management is there. All the funds in these are separate modules are there.
How does tax changes? In other words, if there's a big tax change, how does that factor in?
That's basically if you are dealing with the most taxes and your customer and vendors are involved, then SAP also has provided a very good breakdown of taxes, as well as on top of that we have a bolt-on tax where different third parties are available. So we can on top of that bolt-on tax.
So like you would load the state tax tables.
Because in USA we have over 60,000 jurisdiction codes are there. That's at a country level, that are at a state level, then county level, then zip code level, and zip code as a lower and higher tax level. So we have different jurisdictions. Based on the jurisdiction, we basically apply these codes.
So which one of the modules do you use for users' rights after?
User?
HR? Yeah.
Users' rights?
User rights. So for example, what I'm accustomed to, you hire a person, all of that goes through HR.
Mm-hmm.
But now that person has certain rights to certain systems.
Basis.
Oh, so that's done.
Oh, you are authorization you are talking about?
Yes.
Authorization, roles and authorization basically is talked about security.
Yes. So that's done in the middle.
Security,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Security is a different consultant out there. That's called security consultant. It's also attached to the basis, yes.
What is the financial supply chain management? Is it that warehouse management?
No. It's a total core treasury and receivables management. You will see, get to know. So this is our FICO course outline. Now we are talking about whatever we have done. Now your course started from here. So all other institutes, they start from here. They start, hey, this is your course. Whatever we have done, so I'm just giving you from here your course basically started. Whatever the information has provided you earlier, these are your this information basically is your foundation. Based on your foundation, now your foundation will build on these course lines.
So what about like?
So general ledger accounting is financial accounting. Yes, your question.
Yeah. What about reporting, consolidation, and reporting?
Consolidation reportings are already available. If you wanted to go consolidations, we have a different modules for consolidations out there. Yes. This is application altogether is there. It's called SCM, enterprise management, strategic enterprise management is there.
But that's not covered in this course, is it?
No, that will let you know how to basically, you didn't need to know. If you wanted to go into that direction, I will guide you. But these are your core main lines.
Just define what is business. Yeah. So if I have a company who is using two different charts, can I within GL, can I consolidate them?
Yes, I will let you know. I will guide you in general ledger area that how basically based on your statutory laws, what are the basically said. You will get to know by once your course completed, your all questions will be resolved. So in financial accounting, general ledger accounting, we cover that how if your business is working globally, so how globally your business will be applicable. Then you have a different fiscal years are there, when you have a different currencies are there, when you have different systems are there. If you wanted to get a report, how you are getting your report, what are the group chart of accounts, how you consolidate it, I will get you know all the details. So I told you your quiz will be quenched over here. Don't worry. So account receivables, if you are working locally, regionally, how your account receivables look like. If you are working globally, what's basically your account receivable will look like. And accounts payable, bank accounting, how your bank accounting will be dealt based on different bank software across the globe. When you are working in USA, banking is totally different. When you are working in UK, banking is different. When you are working in Europe, SEPA area, they have a single currency, euro, single currency area, they are working differently over there. What kind of methods they basically use. So these are the things basically SAP provides you all the details.
So banking allows you to upload bank statements to do
yes.
And all that?
Bank will also allow you to automatic reconciliation. All of your accounts payable, receivables, as soon as your statement is uploaded, your auto reconciliation has happened at the same time.
That's where the currency fluctuations will show up.
Correct. No, that's happen in general ledger area. So when I was working, so we have at that time we dealt with 2009 53 currencies.
So you have both functional currency and reporting currency.
Yes, we have a functional currency, we have a reporting currency. So we have a group currency. Because I was the only person who is responsible for all the foreign currency. If you are interested in foreign currency, I will give you tons of details. Because my hands-on was in foreign currency, I was the only main person for.
Really?
Yes, from all the currency from Bloomberg perspective, because I normally deal with the Bloomberg. The Bloomberg provide the rates on a daily basis. So all the 53 currencies were loaded into our system, and from our system at that time we were working in 120 or 24 countries. So this way we normally would deal, especially the tax reporting purposes, how to deal specific tax reporting purposes, how to load these currencies for National Bank of their rates into systems. So I worked in.
SAP doesn't maintain their own table for.
No, we have
currencies.
We have currency tables.
But they don't maintain live currency.
Live currency is always fed from outside.
Right, because what I've seen happen.
I'm just letting you know. I have all the live experience, practical experience with me. Don't worry. Based on your question and based on the course I have designed for you. The course is basically very simple, very elaborative, but on site I will also give you assignment based on that from global perspective you have to maintain your Excel spreadsheet. If you have a global scenario, how you are maintaining all the scenarios. I will let you know all the details. So this way, this financial accounting will be dealt in asset accounting. Asset accounting is also have a very specific statutory criteria for each and every country and each and every regions, because it's based on your chart of depreciation, based on your country's laws, based on your depreciation keys, based on your depreciation areas. So basically it fluctuates pretty much each and every country and what are the laws and under laws. So how you have to extract those reports. This is also very important.
So it allows you to do GAAP depreciation and tax depreciation.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. It will let you know that based on IFRS depreciation, how you do your IFRS depreciation, how you do your US GAAP depreciation, how the delta will be there, how all the reporting information will be there. Everything basically is covered in asset accounting. Then in controlling, basically we'll cost center accounting, profit center accounting, profitability analysis. Then we are replacing with product costing with it's called treasury and risk, it's called cash and liquidity management, because these guys are interested in cash and liquidity management. So this way for FI and CO, related information is there. Then from course that what's basically in FI structure, so we are giving you basic setting, enterprise structure, creation of a company, company code, assign company code to a company, business area, fiscal year variant, then fiscal year variant to a company code, chart of account, accounts group, retaining accounts, posting period variant, document types and number ranges, field status variant, tolerance group, etc. All the information is there.
Those steps are like fixed, some like 76 or something steps, right?
No, I will guide you go through. Don't worry about the number of steps. Whatever the number of steps, I will give you. And before that, before we start, I will give you the business requirement of each and every. What are the business requirements in the form of a presentation? Once you go into the real-time projects, normally these business requirements we present to the stakeholder, and after stakeholder we are getting the information, and then we prepare the business blueprint. So general ledger master record is there, posting of a document, display balances of general ledger, parking, holding, accrual, sample document, deferred document, foreign exchange, reversal of document, document splitting, leading and non-leading ledger. That's the major things we'll discuss in detail based on the global scenarios. In accounts payable, vendor groups, MI, MM and FICO vendors, number range for vendor accounts, tolerance group for vendors, house bank, correspondence, automatic payment program, extended withholding tax, terms of payment, down payment made, cash discount received, all the information basically we'll deal with in AP. And then after that we have account receivable, customer group, SD and FICO customers, number ranges for customer account, customer master records, down payment received, dunning, cash discount, bill of exchange. Dunning is when you are a customer to, let's say, Verizon, and you are not paying after 3 months, then they give you a love letter. Here you are so-and-so customer and your arrears are due if you are not paying. So we will give you, and after, if you are not paying, then after second letter they will send you after 120 days. If still you are paying, they will give you, their language will be harsh and harsh. So in the third letter they will say, if you are not paying by so-and-so date, your case will be sent to the collection agency. So these are called dunning.
Is account receivable also billing is done, or is it outside account receivables?
Account receivable within SAP?
No, the billing process, like in generating invoices, is it within account receivable, or is it in the separate subledger module?
Separate subledger module.
Not in the account receivable itself.
The account receivable do all its customers' invoices. Accounts payable do with all vendor invoices.
So I'm a small company. I just want to do, rather than having like this sales and distribution. If I just want
those invoices are coming from SD, and they are treating over here in AR and AP. From MM, all the invoices are coming to vendors, and from AR, all the invoices are coming from SD. So this way the company integrates.
In AR itself, I cannot generate an invoice.
You can generate, but bill you can generate. Bill always come from your SD. Then you generate your invoice. Because we have integrations. Because those companies who wanted to come into SAP, they wanted to implement this complete business suite. They want.
Not to digress, but what's the difference between bill and invoice?
Billing, when let's say all the billing in SAP, we generate all the billing in sales and distribution department based on, let's say, she wanted to buy, let's say, 100 Polycom telephones. All the bills will be started from generated based on the quotations, based on all the billing cycle, basically generated in SD. From SD it is basically coming.
That's an order.
Order to cash. I'm just from, if you wanted to order to cash, order part deals with the sales and distribution part, and a cash part basically will lead in a
I think what is sales order. How the sales order becomes sales order, right?
No, from order to cash. From order to cash, you wanted to get to know. From order to cash, you receive. Order side is completely dealt with in SD. Cash application side is completely dealt with AR.
So I'm coming from Oracle perspective. So Oracle, you can do an invoice directly within AR, and then do collection within AR as well. I don't have to have
collection. No, I got your question from here. You're asking. In SAP, SD basically is taking care of all this. And from cash collection basically will deal. All the cash application will deal. Now you got it. Similarly, we have a procure to pay. All the procurement side is dealt with MM, and all the payment sides will dealt with the payables in accounts payable. That's basically there. And when you are working in, let's say, big 4 companies, they have developed applications order to pay, order to cash, procure to pay, and record to report. In record to report, normally they deal with the general ledger, they deal with fixed assets, they deal with profitability analysis, they deal with product costing. Order to cash, they deal with the 2 applications, SD as well as AR side. And similarly, procure to pay, they deal with the MM side as well as one person of finance should be there, accounts payable there. So this way the whole system is illustrated. It depends upon how your organization is there.
Like different compared to Oracle financials.
Yes.
Oracle financials is not an integrated product. Well, SAP is a total integrated product.
So no, actually, Oracle has order to cash, but what you're saying is that it still gives you the
they are scattered. They are not a single module.
Order entry and goes straight to AR and generate an invoice.
So this way the whole, yes, it comes as a slightly different component.
Yeah.
Now you can see in asset accounting what are the, from chart of depreciation to account determination. Chart of depreciation depends upon country to country. So based on the country's laws, that chart of depreciation basically will give you the depreciation areas. So account determinations, how basically everything is automatically settled. Then screen layout, asset classes, integration with FI, depreciation methods, depreciation keys, asset master, sub-asset master, asset report, depreciation run, sales of asset, transfer of assets, scrapping of assets, capital work in progress. And most of the companies, they wanted to come into SAP, but they are reluctant to come on SAP fixed asset. Because once you are in a fixed asset after certain years, based on the useful life of the asset, you have to retire your assets. It's a mandatory step, sir. You have to retire your asset. Let's say this table having a life of 10 years. After 10 years, you have to scrap it.
No, but let's be careful. At the end, you're talking about outside the state, maybe, or equipment that's used in some industry where the life of it truly has finished. But you'll find this table, even if it has a life of, let's say, 5 years, right? It's at the end of its depreciable life, but you still have it. So when you're doing asset verification or asset count to the end, no part of the register.
Absolutely.
It needs to be accounted for, but it just has zero balance in the balance sheet.
Okay, because that's different from taxes, because in taxes you have in the CR's code, we have to depreciate things according to a certain table by tax law. Is there a conflict with those two?
No, we always go according to the accounting principle. There's no conflict. In SAP, there's no conflict with accounting principle. Never ever.
There's one thing though, because most companies, almost all companies, right, they have one rate for financial and taxes. You have to follow that.
Yes.
And that was my question. Is this taking into account? I'm hoping that SAP is going to do both things. Give me financial statements in accordance with GAAP, but also give me financial statements in accordance with TABS rules.
Yes,
you know,
they will give
and
you.
I have different tables that I'm not doing.
SAP provides you all the details as per the laws. And most companies, if you are working from the company perspective, the company already have some reports. So sometimes they ask us, we need this report, so we will prepare a report according to the needs and requirement of that company. So this way each and every country, because when you are retiring your assets, so we have a with revenue, when you are retiring an asset, and without revenue. So all the information basically are available. Then CO courses are there, cost center accounting, profit center accounting, operating concern, profitability. So all these, the details, assignment of controlling area to operating concern, then activate profitability analysis, mapping of conditions to co-op value, drill down report. These are the some of the details as we go into the details of the subject and get to know. So this is the product costing, creation of secondary cost element, activity tab. That's basically how the manufacturing environment basically is there, and how the integration basically is happening.
So that would include like standard costing within there.
Yes. And these are the course overview from reports, from financial statement versions perspective, from GL reports perspective, from accounts payable reports perspective, from account receivable reports perspective, from asset reports perspective, cash book reports. LSMW is a tool. It's called Legacy System Migration Workbench. When we wanted to migrate the data from non-SAP system to SAP system, so this system basically will provide you recording templates, and based on the templates, we upload the data into the system. So this is.
You want to come to stage into.
Yes.
You can show us the template.
Not templates. This I'll just give you the introduction how this basically LSMW is all about. And transport management, how basically you move your transport from dev to QA, QA to productions.
Actually, in asset in the accounts receivable reports, I'm wondering. I didn't see this as one of the bullets in the AR module. Does this count for? Does it comply with its achievement laws? Like, does it do a report for that?
Yes. If you have a statement laws are there based on your statements, basically you can develop your reports.
Okay.
Let's say some of the you issued let's say any check, and that check has been after 2 months or 3 months has not been there. So I'm just giving an example. When I was working in city 3 years back. So at that time we have created a reports. So we customized some of the reports, and we created the report, and we achievement reports was basically applicable to them.
Okay, good. So therefore, the system truly is keeping track.
Yes,
of
keeping track all the cash, even you can generate your own checkbooks. You can generate your checks. You can void your checks. You can treat, and if the check is not there, you can treat all the information in SAP. You can reissue your check even.
No, from that's strictly from a payable standpoint. I'm more concerned that.
From achievement, yes, reports are available. Reports are available. If you need customization you can also perform. Because 2 years back, there was an insurance company, 2 to 3 years back. So when I was working with them, so I was the person responsible. So I asked them that you need some of the customization. After customization, they're taking care of it.
Yeah, because I was hoping that would be standard based on the industry that you mentioned. Because
this is a standard
report.
report.
Insurance, and if you're in mortgage, right?
Yes, even in mortgage, even these reports, this reporter, because I immediately, as you mentioned the achievement, I already knew that what basically you're talking. That's why I'm just giving you, these reports are available. So course material will be provided in the form of PowerPoint presentation, PDF, Word document, simulation files, interview question papers. Interview question basically is a 70 pages interview, real-time interview, FI and CO. As well as mock interview preparation is also with me. We have arranged close to 0 to 3 to 5 interviews are there. So based on, so first we have exit interview, then 3 mock interview, and if you are not qualified interview, then you are failed, and then you have to prepare yourself and come again. And then how to prepare a resume, how to prepare your interview. So all the workshops are also provided to you. What to wear, how to communicate, everything basically is there. Even if you are coming from jungle, I'm just giving an example. Now I will give you all the tips that what kind of clothes you wear, even for women I have written, what kind of clothes women have to return. If they don't go into the... Oh, no, I'm just giving you... I'm just, all the information, the baseline information is there. And after that, on top of that, what colors you, based on this one, you can do it accordingly. I told you that from nowhere to somewhere.
The first job in SAP
there should be another one to say, and we guarantee getting you a job.
Guarantee it depends upon person to person. Business blueprint, even the real-time business blueprint, I have changed the real-time business blueprint. Change some of the language so you have a very good idea that how the real-time business blueprint look like. ASAP methodology. Resume and interview workshop is also part of this course. And if somebody wanted to know that how to become certified in SAP, I will guide you that what to do and how to.
Can you do a certification on like right now separately?
It has very in-depth course. It will take 6 months, next 6 months to prepare yourself for certification.
So while you're studying for this, wouldn't it be a good idea to
Without certification, you can get a job.
Yeah, that is true. If you wanted to do your certification along with you're studying for this anyway.
No, that course is totally meant for different purposes. That is meant for totally academic. That's totally principle is different. Okay. This principle is based on the real-time job. Okay. That's basically an academic perspective. So that's the major difference there. Then now I was talking about these treasury courses. You asked me FSCM. This is called Financial Supply Chain Management. This SAP application consists of treasury and risk management. That treasury and risk management, it deals with all their advanced courses. That's basically deals with all the company having a, let's say, wanted investment. A company wanted a borrowing, and they wanted to real-time play with the financial instruments.
So they're not really talking about bonds per se. They're talking about all types of investments.
All type of investment.
So when you say treasury and risk, immediately I'm thinking.
All the treasury from investment perspective, how to deal with the investment perspective. This module basically will deal. This is not part of the course, but I'm just giving you information. So this is advanced course, but I have given you that what basically institute will offer you. Treasury and risk, financial supply chain management. It talks about all types of investment and all types of borrowing. Cash and liquidity management in UNO, they are not taking the borrowing. They are taking only the investment part for this one. Yeah. Cash and liquidity management, that takes about your day-to-day cash position, not the prior day cash position, from your accounts payable to accounts receivable, all end-to-end reporting from cash management perspective. In-house cash basically is a very good module in treasury management area. Basically, it give you, let's say you have a subsidiaries are there, and you have a lots of cash inflow and outflow basically is there. And instead of sending through your bank, you can deal through in-house virtual bank. So in-house virtual bank, this in-house cash management basically deal. It takes care of all of your virtual cash in-house and send you all the reports. If you owe, it will give you this so-and-so subsidiary company owes this month. This is your interest you have to pay, and this way it has control. And on behalf of subsidiaries, there's a central payment system is also there. And as well as central collection system is also will be managed through this in-house cash management.
So basically all the disbursement account and operating account, it basically tells you where the money is needed. And
yes, instead of a channeling through the real bank, you can channel through your in-house virtual bank.
And it does all the real transaction for you?
Yes.
So when you do in SAP, it triggers the activities in the bank side?
No, it triggers within your company.
It's two different things. The in-house, if I understand this correctly, in-house cash management is if you've got subs, and let's say subs could be local.
Yeah, that's called subsidies.
So, when you bill a sub, there's a transaction you have with one company. Let's say you transfer books or sold books from the U.S. to India, one of the companies there, right? It's doing an automatic intercompany transaction,
correct,
right? As long as it's posted in the company that's selling it, I'm hoping that that's triggering an intercompany transaction.
Intercompany transaction.
So you have a due from that just happened there. So what I'm hearing is in-house cash management is looking for all of these due from, who owes money, and pretty much facilitating that. Intercompany transaction.
Intercompany, this is also one of the functionality of this one. Second is central cash is also controlled. Central payment is also controlled.
But there are rules, there are international rules. You just can't, because taxation, it affects
that deal within general ledger area. Because we have, based on the statutory laws, we deal with all these.
Exactly. You just can't settle an account, with just all
whatever the general ledger, whatever the statutory laws deal with in leading and non-leading ledger.
Yes. Okay.
Everything is taking consideration. Everything is taking consideration.
Yeah. But what I like, what you're saying, in Treasury, Treasury is where I'm assuming what it's looking at. In AP, you would have set up your vendor terms. You enter the invoices. It's got a due date, right? So let's say you're looking at today's the 12th, right? You're looking over the next week or the next month. What are my payables that will become due? You're looking at your AR, and you're actually looking at
this is a functional job.
But hopefully what it's also doing is taking into consideration, is this person normally delinquent or not? I don't know, but it might be different customizable reports. But I think what it's looking at is what is your cash flow?
Yeah, these are.
What do I need to pay? What do I need to? What can I receive? I'm assuming that.
Indira, you are absolutely right. It's the same way as this work, and that next is called bank communication management. This is also very powerful. When you have a foreign currencies and you wanted to pay through foreign currencies to your vendors, so this is a very good. So SAP having a direct interface with SwiftNet.
So
SwiftNet is directly integrated with the SAP, And in bank communication management, all the authorization from 1 to 3rd, whatever the level of authorization is there, signature is there, everything is there. You can monitor your payment. As soon as the payment is left and it reaches to your vendor, all the information is right away available in the form of a dashboard, and you can see the whole movement of your cash in bank communication management. You can save tons of amount of foreign currency.
So you can touch all these areas.
Yes, bank communication. I work.
How detailed you will get it? Is just very high level you want to explain?
You will get all the details from approval
Part of the
to.
FICO class, right?
You can also merge your payment in bank communication management. You can merge your payment. You can send your payment. You can authorize your payment, and you can see until it reaches to the end destination. All the visibility is there, so you can see. And the UNO has actually implemented this in-house. Not in-house, bank communication management is there.
Are you part of the UN implementation?
Oh, I told you that I have worked in lots of things. Not UNO. UNO, I was they taken me as a advisor consultant for some period of time because I was busy. I said I will only provide you some of the, and then PwC at that time they were doing some business blueprinting, and at that time I just guided them.
One last question in the bank communication. Sometimes when you generate
this is not part of your course, but it's in order to quench your thirst because I know these areas. I'm just giving you all the information.
Is it here like you generate your payment file, customer check? Whenever you would send that to the bank and let them know these are all the payments we're making, the dollar amount. So when it's cash, that's their validation, right? Is it in bank communication or is that done in AP?
Positive pay you're talking
about.
Positive pay is happening in AP. All the positive pay files we have.
From AP goes to the bank.
So let's say we issue 200 checks and wanted to see 200 checks. Positive pay file has been generated automatically and sent to the bank, and based on the bank, vendor comes and the check has been cashed. That has been positive pay is AP. That's higher level than AP. And then next we have called receivables management. Receivables management companies whose customer volume, let's say, is 200,000 to 1 million customers are there. So they love to go through this particular module. It's called, they manage your credit management based on the usage, and they have a credit management deal with 2 types of credit management. One is called internal history, another called is external history. Internal history based on their usage of consumption is called consume to cash. That's how basically based on their consumption, based on utility, based on telecommunication, etc., etc. And how basically they are well in their paying. So that's their internal history. Internal history also has rating.
I'm trying to get an idea of how quickly people pay.
Yes. They have their internal rating that's dealt with through this particular they also having a direct interface with the credit management to it's called external history. Like all 3 credit bureaus are there, etc. Then we have a dispute management, and before I go to dispute management, so we have a very good module. It's called Biller Direct. So Biller Direct basically is a web application through web application servers, through Java connectors. Basically, we develop this particular portal, and based on the consumption and based on the bills, based on the invoice, the customer can directly see their bills, and they can manage directly their administrative data, customer name, address, etc., and credit card information, debit card information, and any other information. They select the bill and they directly pay. So that's also been dealt through Biller Direct, and if they have a dispute, I do not owe this particular invoice. At the same time, they can dispute right away their same invoice, and then this having interface at the back end with the core ERP system, and then the core ERP system directly take care of them. Then we have a collection management system. This is also part of FSCM. That basically is also deal that from collection perspective. Let's say out of 1 million customers, only 50,000 customers basically they owe so and so money, and then based on their case, basically case 1, case history, case has been created in SAP based on the cases. So it's directly deal with the customers, and then again all the process basically has happened, and sometimes the case information has been sent after that to the collection authorities. If not, so everything basically you can see this is called receivables management. Everything is being dealt in SAP. And on top of that, which is not mentioned over here, is consume to cash. It's called bring. There's a lot of other functionalities also. I'm not have included. But you can see all these modules, and still if you are thinking that without ERP financials, you can go anywhere.
That's the treasury. I've seen openings just for that.
There are lots of openings.
In Fortune 500. Just for that.
Yes, I'm told you when you are dealing with ERP financials, it's an evergreen tree. ERP financials, FICO consultant, and as soon as first year you go for SAP FICO, develop your skill set and expertise in that area. Second to third year, you go into treasury area. Third to fourth year, you go into public sector management. Fourth to fifth area, you go to reporting area. This way, within 5 years, you have a complete information. Wherever the jobs will come, you have all the.
You're making it too long.
No, I'm just giving you an example that jobs are there. I'm just giving you a complete package because this you cannot give all the information in a one day.
So when these job requirements come, do they come in like a specific?
FICO.
It literally says the UN right now if it's the finance position, it literally will tell you SAP FICO required. And there's a Fortune 500 out in Princeton that specifically said SAP and it's a treasury management. So some of them are so specific. And now we haven't finished yet. Now these are the courses for public sector. So if you guys are interested in forthcoming years, I'm just giving examples.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
Funds management. This SAP application consists of funds management that control your. Because I have worked in all these areas. I haven't mentioned the other areas which I have worked. Funds management, budget control system is there. How to control your budgets. I told you the humble. More you humble, the more people respect you.
Do you find nonprofits? I mean, I'm not talking about the UN, but like big enough nonprofits.
Yes, I worked in one of the in Los Angeles, in Hollywood area. I worked in non-profit organization. I work in non-profit organization too. Luckily, you ask me a question, I give an example. So funds management, budget control. In budget control, we control the entire budget. So we control through funds derivation strategy. That how it's basically this module is directly integrated with your CO, with your FI, with your MM, and how basically funds basically is. As you can see in your reports, these are the things basically I have given, and then grants management from grantee management, normally we take care, and then grantor management is also a part of this one, and then budgeting, how basically federal budget is go into the budgeting system, and then billing, how basically bill is there, and from project system perspective, we have a CapEx project within a government organization, and we have OpEx projects. So capital projects are there, operational projects are there, engineering and projects are there, project strategy is there. How we have to make project strategy and risk mitigation strategies are there. Project and system security. I have basically done all this.
For a publicly traded company, when I see public sector, I think of government, right? But
state government is also a part of this one.
Right. So when I see, where would you normally do the annual budget planning, monthly forecasting? Within this? Or
funds and grants. Funds management.
Funds management.
Then we take the funds.
The one that we saw just in treasury.
Yes. Funds, it is directly attached to the treasury.
Okay.
It is directly attached to the project system.
So how
budgeting, all the budgeting, you have $100 million, and $100 million basically goes where? It goes to projects. You have a capital project, and you ask me a question, I'm giving you answer. You have a capital project. How much capital? We have a $50 million capital project, and $50 million project will be raised in project system, and then you have a budgeting system, and how the budget will be controlled. That budget will be controlled in funds management area. Then based on the consumption, then based on the.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about standard annual financial budget.
That's basically funds management we can take. You can
use, because at the beginning of the year,
yes.
You start how many months? 6 months before you start doing the budget for the next year.
Yes.
And has nothing.
Then we have a lots of systems. Sponsored classes are there. Sponsored budgets are there, and then it's a 1-year budget as a multi-year budget. So,
sorry, the budget control is within the activities, controlling the activities within SAP. But you also have budget.
Like for financial sales.
So like HFM is another one.
Exactly, that's what I'm.
That we didn't need it.
No. At the beginning, it's standard business process. When you're doing the reporting for the SEC, right, or even Wall Street, one of the things, every company sets their annual budget, their 3-year budget, right? at the end of each quarter, right? As soon as you start the year, that budget is in place for every financial statement line item, right?
Everything is available in both areas. We covered everything.
Okay, good. So the one I'm talking about, not capital expenditure budget. I hear where that one is being done, right? But I'm talking the complete enterprise budget.
Enterprise budget, funds management area.
Okay, good.
All the details.
Even though it's saying SAP public sector, within SAP public sector funds management, that is where you're handling an entity's budget for the year.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that a new area also called BPC, business process consolidation?
Yes, so that's basically where you wanted to consolidate your business. That's
it has a different module for that.
Yeah, right? We have a different specific niche modules are there. And this is utility sector. I also work in utility sector. So this is basically contract account, receivables and payables. All the financial management of accounts basically deals within FICO. And then based on the SAP device management, based on your meters and everything, basically we take care in SAP device management. Then ISU utility invoicing, that's basically a different modules. We take care of this one, and then ISU billing, this is take care, and this is ISU biller direct. It's called utility customer e-commerce, e-services there. So this way this is handled and dealt by this one. And I didn't include insurance. I didn't include my other e-commerce. I said, okay, that is not relevant. And these are the training highlights. So real-time instructor, you can also have assumed me that I'm a real-time instructor, not a dummy or goose instructor. So in classroom and for distant audience using GoToMeeting software, SAP Live Server Access. So as soon as you will fulfill your applications, because I am not part of the applications, whoever is your coordinator. So once you fill, so they will provide you SAP Live Server Access. It's called Training and Education Server. So SAP Experience Center, I will guide you based on as we move forward in each and every class. So every class basically consists of whichever module we are covering. So first of all, I will give you the business requirement of each and every module. Based on the business requirement module, then we have a configuration notes are there, step by step, that how you have to enter into the system. This way you will learn the functionality of the system of pretty much each and every module. That's way your live server access from day first you will entering into the system. SAP training, as soon as you can see that I have already given you a live example of the during this particular, as soon as we go into the specific area of the module, I will guide you, I will coach you that if you are working in this part of the area, what are your requirements? If you are working in this part of area, what are basically your example? And then training materials, support, PPTs and PDF documents are there. And then SAP practical. Practical means you have to go and work into the system. So that's basically your practical. As well as you have also prepared your, it's called Excel spreadsheet based on each and every module. And then directly working based on the simple configurations which will be provided to you. And Excel spreadsheet, I will give you the global scenario. But when you are working on the system, it will give you a very baseline foundational configuration directly into the system. So this way you have both hands-on hands with your basic configuration, functional knowledge, as well as if you are working as a global consultant, working in a global environment, I will provide you the server, not Excel spreadsheet. You are putting all the information on the Excel spreadsheet. So once you go to your real-time projects, this master Excel spreadsheet will help you a lot that if this is the company, how this information will be available across the different modules. This way, it will give you a complete end-to-end picture. So SAP test, and this is SAP test, which I have and frequently asked question from interview point of with project work relevant perspective feedback from SAP training partner. I will let them know that who are basically giving interest. So they will also having a strict rules that if every class they ask me that whosoever is really interested. So let us know so we can put them on their SAP practice so they can also help you out in their SAP practice too from job perspective. And those who are on jobs, so sometime if I find an email and you guys are having any real trouble and you need some guidance, so I will provide you guidance what to go and how to go, what are your guidelines, and then resume preparation, mock interview. Normally all the mock interview happen with me. So SAP certification have help if somebody needs it, I provide you. On job assistant if somebody needs, so I can provide you. Help via email, normally initially it's email. So as soon as you show me interest, So then I will share my cell, and online help is always have a remote support if you need. Is always there. So I have seen people. This is my last. I have seen people. They were nowhere. They hardly manage to come into the class. They even don't have a gas money to come into this institute. Nor they are consultant. I have seen people. They already earn very lucrative pay. They left their career. They came into SAP because they said that we wanted to spend time with their family. That's the reason they switched their career. Now they are in SAP. I have people from mid-20s to late 30s to late 40s to late 50s, all sorts of people. Nobody come in my class 60. But these are the people came into my class up to 50, 55 years of age. And they have accelerated their career. And if you have a motivations, people came into my class with motivations. I have seen one mother, she came with one motivation. She said, I wanted to come into this class. I am already earning, she told me around that time, 3-4 years back, 56K or 60K. And she said that now my daughter is in Stony Brook Medical School. I wanted to give her at least 20K per year. So this is my gift for her. That's why I wanted to switch into career. And she all the way at that time, she had driven from Massachusetts to here during winter, and that winter having a major storm during our class. 2-time major storm has happened. And I asked her, don't come and go, stay over here on the weekend. And there are lots of people, and people I have seen who are only earning 20K, 25K, and now they are earning over 100K. People, they were nowhere, now they are somewhere. I will give you a live access to my life. I'm giving all live access. I will give you all the tips how to work in the system, once you go into real-time projects, how to interact with the people, how to communicate with the people. These are the things, as well as tips of that, how you guys will be successful.
Do you also teach HANA? Or?
No, HANA is totally, we have a different institute. Everybody is taking care of different modules, as well as application sets. I'm only in ERP financials. That's my expertise. HANA expertise and technical expertise, we have another instructor. So he is taking care of all the HANA, BW, BI, and all the, my expertise on the ERP financials.
Is HANA rebranded from Sybase?
No, HANA basically, they developed their own system. It's basically, this is a database as well as a high appliance analytical tool based on your digitizations. In the future, SAP basically is already started building up their simple finance. Everything basically is built on, instead of Oracle, they built on HANA technology. HANA platform is called Simple Finance. On top of that, all the reporting, especially digitization and the e-commerce and the analytical reports are taking out from the same SAP.
So it's like separating SAP ECC
no.
different.
This core module stay the same. Okay. You are learning, it will not go anywhere. Oracle database.
So they're replacing backend with a different data.
Yes. On top of this, ERP stay the same.
Didn't SAP acquire Sybase?
Sybase, this is
Sybase. Yeah,
that's required.
HANA is same methodology whatever Sybase was following, but it is in memory and it is columnar based instead of row based. It is columnar. And SAP didn't had its own database. HANA is SAP's own database. And if you want to buy SAP, you have to go through SAP only. SAP will provide 5 different vendor like Fujitsu, HP, and all those things. And
so these are different. SAP has complete end-to-end technology. Don't worry. From future perspective too.
Is SAP also available in SaaS?
SaaS is a different technology. Which if you need any analytical things, if you wanted to go separately, you can take HANA on SaaS too. They will also give you choice.
Actually, that's great. Is SAP available?
So,
almost everybody is. I
No.
know Oracle is available.
No, might be in the future.
Yeah.
Might be in the future.
So now you still have to go physically.
No, they are already giving you the analysis, statistical analysis. They are focused on totally report side. Might be in the future, the way SAP is evolving and plugging into the system might be in the future.
actually, within 2 to 3 years, most probably, FICO will be like obsolete. and Simple Finance will take over FICO.
This is not a FICO.
S4 HANA, FICO.
I'm just letting you, this will not be absolute.
Not obsolete, but that will be renamed as Simple Finance. It's almost the standard.
Only rename, all the things will stay the same.
Yeah, I know. Same logic, same thing. But the new version will be under S4 HANA. Right?
I know S4 HANA. I'm just, you now spread out the information. I'm just letting you know only whatever the modules we are talking about, ERP, this whole ERP will, instead of Oracle, it should be on HANA.
Yeah.
All the functionality stay the same. That's the reason.
This is the database.
Yes, not database. It's a complete platform technology. It's a high performance analytical appliance.
SAP is very smart. So if
Yes.
you see the
Not only data pass, it accelerate all of your reporting.
Okay, because like
FICO is not will be obsolete, so change your.
No, it is not obsolete, but FICO will be Simple Finance.
No, that's a rename only everything because I'm already working on the project. I'm just giving you more information. All this ERP will be instead of a Oracle database, it will be replaced into HANA as well as this. Instead of a this is my ERP. So previously it was sitting over here. Okay. Now I'm taking this one. I am putting this one HANA. On top of everything will stay the same.
that has intelligence.
Everything is there.
Like going from
And now after that, because they have research on their labs, because they have lots of integrations. Right now we have a finance, treasury, projects, what's basically core ERP financials are there. This is already integrated, this is already tested. And after that, now they are integrating and pulling all other modules which will be there. That slowly and steadily they are pulling all the integrated modules onto Simple Finance. They name it as a Simple Finance. And in 2000, because he wanted to more information in February 2003 this year, on they already launched this on stock exchange, Wall Street Stock Exchange. They're already giving all the information because they're already working on SAP. So you name it and SAP is there. In New York City, pretty much every other organization is on SAP.
If I am hearing correctly, period, SAP FICO is here to stay.
Yeah,
And it's simply what it's sitting on
Yes.
is being enhanced
Yes.
to facilitate more
Yes.
key business intelligence.
Yes.
Okay.
this is going to draw from a different source, basically.
Yes.
FICO will never go. FICO will be there, but only thing the name will be like Simple Finance.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Finance is there.
Yeah, name change, just name change.
Yes.
Just name.
So there is a major shift happening in industry, and this is all across. Like all the ERP system, which used to be 3-tier system, now everything is moving to SaaS.
Exactly.
Oracle is a
That's
new
why-
product called Fusion. I don't know if you
Yeah.
heard of it.
No, that is more advanced. That is this HANA is more advanced than SaaS.
Yeah, HANA is
Well,
good.
but
SaaS
AI
is a
sounds
SaaS
like
is a
software
total
available
software as a
as-
service. So rather than
Yeah.
hosting your own,
No, that's
Cloud.
SAP.
somebody hosting it.
No, that's you are talking about software as a services. I was
Yeah.
SaaS and other.
Oh, that is different.
That SAP are already provided. They have at this point of time, they have the largest and strongest presence in cloud.
Yeah, cloud.
Yes.
Yeah, we are talking about cloud, not
Cloud computing.
Yes.
No, it's all about cloud.
because HANA is
SAP is a major player.
We just signed a deal with Workday.
Yes.
So we move it from people software.
This is called, I'm just giving information because otherwise I started thinking of a statistical SaaS. Sorry.
Okay.
That's my
That's the business intelligence.
yes. It's called software as a services. SAP has a major presence in the cloud marketing, and this is called Foundry. It's called Cloud Foundry. In Cloud Foundry, SAP is a major key player in this technology. So you cannot leave SAP. This is the way SAP emerging initially I told you, the way SAP emerging in the future, the way Apple is emerging right now, the way with their new iPad Pro, they will engulf the market of iPad. The way SAP is emerging, the way Apple is emerging, and only those technology will lapse in the markets which having a strong foothold and strong presence from money-wise as well as from other side. And SAP is the company which has strength in money, which has strength in technologies, they have a consultant all over the globe, and which their share basically is.
So bottom line, right now, if a company wants to acquire SAP, they can do it as that. It's available in the
Yes, it's
no
available.
physical servers.
No, only the server part. Let's say previously they are managing their basis team and as well as their technical team. So instead of basis team, they will take their services from cloud. Concerns are still the same. Instead of they are hosting their server, they manage their whole team. They manage still consultants stay the same. This ERP stay the same. Only it facilitates us.
Yeah. No, I think we're talking strictly as you no longer have physical servers. You're literally buying the software. It's hosted in the cloud.
And they also has, because I'm also working on my company strategy for 2016, second quarter onward. And I'm also suggesting them we will go for cloud, SAP cloud, and we will our host. I'm also initiating this one. I'm also working tons of information because the information he opened up, so that's why I just wanted to share with you. SAP consultant, especially ERP financial consultant, they go nowhere. Rather, their demand in the future will be more.
I'm sure it's something like that because would that involve a physical move or just a logical move? Because you're moving from physical server to the cloud.
No, previously, I'm just asking. Previously, your servers are being maintained by AT&T, by some other company. Some other company, you are paying them tons of amount of money. Some companies, they have their server within the same vicinity. Okay, instead of they are maintaining their server, infrastructure cost, team cost, they are putting everything on the. From consultant perspective, this doesn't matter that it's sitting in the cloud, or it's sitting in the same vicinity, or sitting in the AT&T.
No, I understand that. I've actually been to a data center move from physical to cloud. But the difference was that it was truly a physical, McGraw-Hill went through that. There was truly a physical move and a logical, but to me, here is where if a company is a small company, they have their own physical server, they decide they're going to SAP, right? But they decide to get it SAP as a service, right? So that's going to be hosted in a cloud. They don't need anything, their servers anymore. So I guess that whole first part, that second step in that.
Their infrastructure and maintenance costs will be less.
Okay, yeah, that I know. I'm not even talking about cost. I'm talking about the actual data conversion. So during that business planning, when you're pulling all of their chart account info, what they have, it's that process they still have to go through,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We have to follow all the accounting principles.
Yeah.
This is the facility they provided on the server, and they name it as a SaaS. Software as services, they provide as platform as services called PaaS. They provided hardware as services, so they have a different names.
Yeah.
So this way they are there. Initially, I didn't understand this.
I also should have.
Like Salesforce is SaaS.
So they have lots of things are happening. Meaning to say, nutshell is, so you are joining an SAP with a very good time. Still is a very good time because everything is emerging. So it's a good time to learn these technology and the way SAP is coming into the future. Develop your skill set as a top priority. Money and prestige automatically will come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simply, if you wanted to go for a good lunch or dinner, so automatically your you can say a salad and everything will come automatically. You didn't need to pay extra for a salad.
When you're forgetting about Salesforce, within how many years or days you are planning about?
Next 10 years.
10 years.
Yes, next 10 years.
It will take another 10 years to.
Yes.
Well, your roadmap is pretty long.
It will take that much time?
Yes.
I was thinking within 5 years they are going to.
No. They already planned. SAP himself planned to the next 26 March 2026. They said that all the companies will go into.
To simple finance and simple logistics. There are two.
That's all.
MM and SAP will be simple logistics, and all ECC thing will go to a simple finance. Mainly FICO will go to simple finance.
There is also another platform called SAP Business One.
That's for meant for small business.
Small companies.
Small
business.
Business is less than $50 million to $200 million. Business is called Business One.
Nothing for individuals, right?
Nothing for individual.
No.
Individual, you can take services from SAP.
Oh, really?
Yes, small companies. They minimum charges and take some small services, etc. Any question, guys? This is all about my orientation. If you have any specific questions regarding your SAP FICO course, you are more than welcome.
You did say that you had nobody in the late 50s. Is that what you said before? You had people 20, 30s, was no
have all the people in my classes. It depends upon learning because your mind didn't know. I'm just giving you your mind strength. What's your mind basically? Your mind thinks 22. Previously, I was thinking 20 trillion calculation per second when I was in IBM. They said no. It's 22 trillion calculation per second. Yes, your mind thinks. You have a 60,000 thoughts per day. If you have a good thoughts, you are on course. If you have a bad thoughts, you are not on course. Okay? So just switch your good thoughts into bad thoughts into good thoughts. Now, from mind perspective, you have a conscious and subconscious. So your mind didn't know it's a real or it's a not real. If you are feeding your mind that I am a 50 years old, you become a 50 years old. If you feed your mind that I am a 20 years age, still forever 21, just like your mind still, and you're physically, your body, because you have 100 billion neurons, 100 billion neurons in your body, and you have a 2 trillion or 3 trillion cells in your body. They have a connectivity with your environment and cosmos. If you wanted to discuss another, I will give you another discussion. That way, if you are thinking like this way, you are thinking like this.
My previous professor had a course on that, about the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and the subconscious mind is in the driver's seat. The conscious mind is in the back seat. Absolutely, I completely agree.
So during the course, if you want to talk, I can talk a lot. This is my favorite subject.
I know my strengths and weaknesses. I kind of in the industry for a while. My weakness is counting. Hardcore counting.
I'm just giving you.
We'll make these nice.
I wish. If you're there next to when I'm doing my job.
Very informative because
I'm just giving you wherever the accounting is required, wherever and which part of the accounting is required, even the accounting entries are required. In my course, all the accounting entries are given.
I mean,
and very basic level information I provide you, that what does balance sheet look like, what are the P&L statements look like, what are these accounts, what are these balance sheet accounts. I will provide you all the initial level details.
I know all that because
from module perspective, wherever the entries are required, the entries are already given.
Okay. Because my customers are all the vice president of finance and.
Don't worry about it. I always deal.
Accounting, it goes like this.
No, I always.
Like when you talk about audit, it's points on what they're saying that you don't get, and honestly, bring it to classes.
So I confuse them immediately for something.
Yeah, say something that they're confused.
I all the time deal with those guys. VPs, directors.
You know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's my strategy.
I just wanted to say that I really, really thoroughly enjoyed meeting all of you.
Likewise.
I was very invigorated by the whole process. I'm very, very encouraged.
So you can contact if you do not have any further question. Those who are online, you guys can also ask me question if you have any question. So this is my whatever I have done. I let you know what's basically. I'm just recapping what's basically SAP is, what's basically SAP architecture is, what's basically SAP landscape is, what's basically ERP financial is, what's basically SAP modules are, and how your course will go through. What are the advanced modules, and when is the next class? You can talk to your coordinator. Is it Neela your coordinator, or Madhu coordinator, or Soba coordinator? Please, they will let you know that when is the class, and after that they will let me know that when the class will be scheduled, and we will schedule accordingly based on. And luckily, next forthcoming we do not have any, except week of 26 might be I will not available. On other I will be available.
So what if you cannot do all 4 consecutive weekends? Is that
FIN, whole the course will be completed in 8 days.
So it's 4 consecutive weekends.
So you are not starting on 19th?
What I have no idea. We're starting next week or not. If we are starting next week, then the class will be happen next week. They already informed you.
Then it will all.
But US is that 19th.
Yes.
If you are starting on 19th, then 4 consecutive weeks, right?
Yes.
And if you miss one of the weekends, then
Recording is available. Yes, we can do it. I highly encourage those who can come into the class. Even if you can fly, you can come into the class.
Hi.
Hi.
I have about that. I have a question. I'm actually going on vacation, so I'm not going to be here for the next 2 weekends. since the classes start next weekend, I know you said that there is recording available, but will I be able to pick it up with the projects and stuff like?
No, I have requested them that week of 26 and 27. I will, because I already told that I'm not available. Might be you are missing one class.
Okay.
Or skip 2 and then.
No, one week.
So 26, 27, you are not available?
Oh, no, you meant 22 or 27.
No. They are classing next week. If the class is happening next week, only 1 week will be off.
Okay.
They can schedule accordingly.
Do you need to carry a laptop?
Oh, you didn't need to carry a laptop. All the assignment and work will be happen at your when you reach at home. Only installation purposes you can bring your own laptop.
That's what, because mine is old, and I know every time I do, some flash something pops up and say that you don't have the card, so I know I have to take mine to get it. Whatever is wrong. So that's what I was saying. Is there any specific requirement?
No.
Okay, good.
Only for installation purposes, you need only SAP GUI. Should be installed on your laptop, and it will provide you material and everything.
It doesn't have to be a very powerful laptop.
No.
Okay. Pentium would be
Normal laptop, whatever the laptop is there, it's fine, more than fine. Only 1 week will be here and there. That's you can manage, and rest of I highly encourage that those who can come in the class always come in the class. In the class you will learn more, because what's basically class routine will be. Normally in every 90 to 100 minutes there's a break. Lunch, normally we used to go out. That's my class routine, only finance class routine. We always go for lunch outside together. Mainly in 2 cars or 3 cars depending upon the availability. We have nearby lots of good restaurants out there, 45 minutes to 1 hour, 60 minutes. So within 45 minutes to 60 minutes we come back, and in that particular area normally we discuss. Sometimes we when open up, so you were having it just like a real-time project environment. You guys learn more. Sometimes you ask the same question, hey, how this will happen. When you are informal, you learn more. So that's the purpose. Once you go real-time projects, you sometimes, because you know that recording is there, I cannot ask.
Yeah, exactly.
So same thing is happen. That's why this purpose is there, and this is a very healthy routine of all.
This is strictly accessible to whoever has signed up for this.
No, you even we can.
You did good. Are you?
Don't worry.
Don't worry. They have a specific. They will not go everywhere. They have a specific. Their personal material. They will not give it to everyone. And if you have a specific thing, they delete the specific recording. Don't worry about that. No, don't worry. You talk about your career related. Even you are sitting over there, might be speaker is not enough.
No, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Master, you're going to cover the master data. How does it?
Master is a small thing.
Small thing?
Yes, very small thing.
And then connections, how do you bring it from legacy systems? Open transition.
That's basically data migration. I will guide you how basically normally we do. That's a data migration.
Methodology. I just want to see one example. Like if you have open GL balances, how do you import from Excel into your?
That's through a legacy system migration. They have step-by-step process. They create a template, put the template, and then after that we upload it. Data migration team normally do it.
Oh, so you're actually working with entities that.
That's a different process.
You're now rolling out SAP.
I'm completing this by end of this month. All the data migrations, we have a new merger and acquisitions happens. So we have taken out all the data. I am the core and sole person. We brought them into LSMW, created templates. After that, putting all the data, converting all the manual conversion, putting all the data, and then after that, next week. And the following 2 weeks, I'm uploading to the system. After that, we are going live on October 2nd.
Just showing one example would be.
This is an example I'm just giving you. I'm just giving you LSMW.
Okay.
So LSMW, this is LSMW tool, and you can tons of information LSMW available. SAP
I
LSMW.
think you're talking the actual upload, right? Because
I just want to see a process because
part of
the integration processes.
LSMW, if you put SAP LSMW, it has very good documents available. SAP. Focus yourself. If you are not focused, especially for you,
I'm out of focus.
I'm just letting you know instead of everyone. If you are not focused, you are nowhere.
So I'm out of focus.
No. Focus to learn that this is the module, this is my point, and after that, once you are on the real-time projects, then your extra skill will be available next 3 to 6 months, and they will automatically send you and upgrade you. But if you just let them know, hey, I know BW, I know BPC, I know FIC, it's a nowhere.
No, BPC I'm not doing now.
Hey, I'm just letting you
BPC
know.
is a long-term goal.
First,
as you told, BPC is not possible like that. Right?
First, get SAP FICO job.
Yeah.
Stay 6 months, and then show them your second card. Hey, I'm also very good
Exactly.
at BW. They will give you promotion. After next 6 months, I also have BPC. They will also give you promotion. Hey, raise 25. Not at the same time you show your all 3 cards. If you are showing your all 3 cards, they say, oh man, this man is the jack of all, master of none. That's my humble advice to you. Because I'm also executive position. That's why focus is very important. Now you got my point?
Yeah, I know.
I'm letting you in front of everyone.
I know.
Might be it will, because I'm a coach. Because might be it will hurt your personal ego. I'm sorry to that, but this way you will enter into
actually,
the
why I learned BW HANA and why I'm learning FICO. Why I'm learning this? Because
either way, you choose BW line after learning this one or this
no, definitely I'm not going to be BW. I'm not going to be a data model, BW model or HANA model. Definitely, that's not my goal.
That's not your strength. Not goal. If you are not strength or goal, you can.
No, I don't want to be a modeler. Okay. Generally, I want to be a FICO consultant only.
Don't say FICO.
FICO.
It's a very bad word.
Sorry, FICO.
So you
Sorry,
have
financial
is it called FICO or
FICO.
FICO?
As normally, I don't call FICO. I say SAP ERP Financial.
But
when you say SAP ERP Financials, it covers everything. Because you are not learning over here FINCO. You're learning other modules too. The actual word is SAP ERP Financials.
exactly, exactly.
SAP ERP Financials.
But that covers a lot of other modules, right?
Your main strength in FINCO. And then you said my main strength is in FINCO.
This is the base. FICO is base.
You are covering the whole, and then hey, this is my strength.
That is central module.
I will guide you. I will teach you. I will coach you the exact word what you say to other people, so the people will love to listen. And if you say FICO, nobody will pay attention. They say, man, he just started, or he doesn't know anything about it.
Exactly. FICO